So we knew eventually this would be a thing, right? Eventually we would be talking about AI creating a situation where coaching is a lot easier. But now we're here. So from now on, coaches can pretty much ask Madden whenever they want to during the game. Yeah, I know. That sounds funny and stupid at the same time. But it is actually now a real thing. So over the last couple years, we've seen it more and more where coaches do things based on analytics, right? So, for example, you say, okay, the analytics say you should go for it on this 4th and 1 because chances are you're going to get it. You should go for it on this, 2-point conversion because chances are you're going to get it, right? So that was the whole concept. And a lot of that is based not really on AI, but based on, statistics, right? Based on stuff that gets posted or gets, talked about. And, the upstairs guys go ahead and call down to the field and say, hey, yeah, we should probably go for it here for this situation. Well, now what they're using is Microsoft is partnering with the NFL to utilize Microsoft Copilot, which is an AI innovation, and it's going to take the data from whatever coach you're playing. So let's say we're playing against the Ravens' Zachary Orr, which is their defensive coordinator. If it's 4th and 5, for example, you can pull up on your screen 4th and 5 and say, okay, what should I call? And it's going to tell you, okay, well, there's a 60% chance you're going to get this if you go for it. There's a 5% chance if you pass the ball. There's a 4% chance if you run the ball. Like, it's going to give you based on what the coaches have done in recent memory. And within seconds, it could tell you, all right, here's what's going on and here's what you probably should do. And it'll give you percentages based on that fact. It's literally Ask Madden. That's all it is at this point. Now, again, what this does is it evens the playing field. When you have coaches like Sean McVay, Bill Belichick, all these really great coaches who can, in their brain, within seconds, diagnose things and figure things out, it gives them a competitive advantage over coaches who can't. Matt Eberflus, right? Coaches on offense or head coaches that really might be inept when it comes to certain play calls. So this way, it's a lot easier. Now, coaches still have to be coaches, right? You can't just rely 100% on the AI, but it makes it a lot more even across the board. Bill Belichick has a motto he said before, which is, players win games, coaches lose them. This is going to prevent, as much as possible, from coaches losing games because they just aren't good coaches. So, I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest, because I feel like this is kind of like trying to make it, the NFL in easy mode. When in reality, the point of football and what's cool is to see, the better coaches figure out things, coach, systems up, coach stuff, where, that causes you to win games, right? It's that crazy, insane coach you get in the offseason that completely changes your franchise. Now it's just like, oh, well, everything is going to be analytically based. And over time, what we're most likely going to see is more and more coaches are going to go toward this direction because it's easier and simpler. And it's going to be less of, okay, coaches are going to try to create these crazy, elaborate schemes that they're able to, kind of finesse other people with. And it's going to be more like, well, percentage-based wise, this is what I should do. I hope that's not the direction forward, but that's the direction that is being presented for the NFL now. Is that you could say, okay, it's 4th and 5, and you pull up a tablet, and that tablet tells you, run this play, run that play. And it's getting to a point where it could tell you, like, hey, run a slant route on this 4th and 5, or this 3rd and 3. you have a 85% chance on a slant route to go ahead and get this first down if you run this play. Rather than, a coach going, thinking, okay, what can I call? What's the play to call? Like, what's the crazy thing I could do in this game right now? I need a crazy play. He can just go in the tablet, look at it, and figure it out. And within seconds, he has a play call. That's not him being a genius offensive coordinator or genius play caller. It's really just, oh, hey, this is what this has worked in the past versus this coach. Here's a percentage that it will work again. And again, like I said, we knew eventually this would happen. It's literally Ask Madden. That's how Ask Madden is. And when you go to Ask Madden, when you're playing Madden, you just go, you click, you get 3 different plays, and it tells you which plays you should go for. And what, chances are that you're going to be successful. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it's a nothing burger. But I feel like this is definitely something that, I don't know. The way they're describing it is that this is supposed to make it a even playing field for coaches that might just not be as good, which I don't like. I don't really like that concept of trying to make the playing field even. I like the fact that, hey, you might have a really good coach. Andy Reid is an amazing coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. If you get a Hall of Fame coach, you should have the advantage of having a Hall of Fame coach. While if you're not a Hall of Fame coach, you should have the disbenefits of it. Now, of course, the players still have to play on the field, right? Players still have to execute. In the end, what we're talking about here is just them giving you numbers and percentages. But at the end of the day, let's say, I don't know, your right guard doesn't block, right? Your right guard just gets absolutely toasted because you decide Lucas Patrick is a good viable option and you didn't sign Dalton Risner. My bad. A little bit projecting there. Anyway, let's say that was the case, right? Okay, well now the situation is going to be a little bit different because even though percentage-wise you might have a really good percentage of getting this play done, it's not going to matter as much because your right guard got destroyed and your quarterback's on the ground. So in a way, it is just like a helping tool, but I don't know. I just feel like we're going a little crazy with this AI crap. I feel like an old man at this point complaining about AI, but it's hard not to, man. It's really hard not to because it's like there is that level of, you just want to have regular football. But I get it, it is what it is. It's going to help advance the game. It's going to make offenses better. It's going to make teams better. It's less of, hey, your coach is an idiot and called this stupid play, and more of like, well, based on analytics, like I cannot wait for the first press conference where a coach literally says, well, the reason why we called that play in the fourth quarter with no time left was because analytics said 86% chance that we were going to make that play happen. Rather than it being like, oh, well, that coach is just stupid and should be fired. It's like, how do you fire a coach who's doing what you told him to do? Which is go based on analytics. Go based on, what the tablet says. It's not coaching, it's tablet. iPad kids now have a future jobs. Oh, man. I don't know, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.